Peace. What's up? It's Kna-Lo Venge. It's early here. It's 70 plus degrees. I'm hot with this jacket on. But I was just thinking about while I was walking. Something I wanted to say. I was gonna do a video and then post it, but I figured I'd go live because I have some other videos already scheduled to go live. So I meant to be posting videos to go live. Anyway, I just thinking about life. You guys watch Suits? I'm a big fan of the show Suits. What's his name? Harvey Specter? No, what's his name? Harvey Specter. And he was talking about, people live here, he lives here. And if you live here, or this is as far as, if this is your aspiration, or this is what you're aiming for, then you're not going to get somebody that lives up here. You're not going to understand the way somebody thinks, the things that they do, the motivation behind it, the frame of mind you need to be in, the amount of self-confidence and self-esteem you have to have. And I'm just a believer in being happy and fulfilling your dreams and going for what you want. If you're unhappy, make a change. I always say, if you're dissatisfied, if you're truly dissatisfied, then you'll make a move, you'll make a change, you'll do something. And if not, you're just talking, you're just complaining just because you like to complain. In my life, anytime I was unhappy, anytime I was dissatisfied, uncomfortable, or whatever, I made a move, I made a shift, because I understand this is my life and that I only have my life. I only have this one life. And that if I don't do what I want to do and do what I need to do, then it's going to be a waste. And then when I'm dying, I'll be laying there with regrets instead of memories, And the thing about having a job and going to work, I understand you got to pay bills, you got to live or whatever, but we here in America have a different mindset than people from other places. We look for a good job where other people look to open businesses and start businesses and stuff like that. And it's always bothered me, because I don't care how much money you make or how much money you have. For me, it's always been about the lifestyle. I wake up when I want, I do what I want, and if I need more money or I need to do something, I want something or whatever, I just go harder. I don't believe in trading my time for money, because you always know how much money you have, but you never know how much time you have. So I just never understood how you put a price on that. How do you put a price on your time? $50, $100 an hour. That's what your life is worth. An hour of your time is worth $50, $20, $10, $12, $100. How do you don't know how much time you have. So how do you price it? How do you gauge the value of it? And when people look at me like I'm weird, and hey, I love my family, I love my friends, but if you can't relate and we can't get along, we can't rock together or whatever, then yeah, it's not the way I want it. I wish things were different, but if it is what it is, then it is what it is. I'm where I need to be, and I'm happy with my life, and I'm happy with the way things are. Most of the time, most of the people I speak to, they're not really happy, and then they're not willing to do what they need to do to make themselves happy. I make music for a living. I've been doing this for a really long time, and I'm good at it, but it's a passion. If you don't have a passion, you don't chase a dream, then you're not going to understand somebody like me. When I was in school, I was encouraged to follow my heart. I was encouraged by my mom. I was encouraged by friends and other family members to go for my dreams. And and I never understood, people who settle, people who just give up or give in, because my dad turned 75. I asked him, okay, Dad, you've been on Earth 3/4 of a century. What are your thoughts? What do you think? What do you see? How do you feel? And his first response was, he had regrets that he didn't go for his dreams. He didn't go for what he wanted. He saw at that point in his life that he was able to do things, or he would have been able to do things that he didn't have the courage to do. You know, he was just always in survival mode. He used to tell me that he was running away from poverty. And it was sad to me. And, you know, he told me he was proud that I didn't listen to him. And I followed my dreams and I followed my heart. And it made me sad, it made me happy that I made the choices I made, but it made me sad that, you know, he was just realizing this at this point in his life, you know, and then he died less than 10 years later. And it was just heartbreaking to me because I see so many of my friends and family and associates and everybody kind of going the same route, you know, and then they look at me like, you know, how did you do that? Or why did you do that? And it's like, I never turned anybody away. If you want to rock with me, you can rock with me. If you want to be a part of my journey or be a part of, you want to add on, you want to bring something you do to what I do, I'll work with anybody. You know, I'd love to be surrounded by friends and family, but we have to be on the same page. We have to be going for success and greatness and happiness and love and peace. And, you know, my health is another thing that's really important to me. And I'm not going to be stressed out by people with small brains, people with low self-esteem, low ambition, low self-image. You know, small minds are never going to understand great spirits. They're never going to understand great ideas and big things because they just want to fit in. They just want to be a part of. They just want to be accepted. They just want to be included. And fortunately for me, I've always been included. I've always been a person that people wanted around. People wanted me around. People want me on their team. People want to be a part of me or want me a part of their lives and part of what they're doing, their growth, their development, their business, whatever it is, because I bring energy, I bring a drive, I bring a different perspective that's big and broad. And like I said, if you're small-minded, then get with somebody with a bigger perspective, a bigger plan, a bigger attitude, a bigger way of doing things, you know, and be a supporter, play a support role, you know, but don't hate, don't get negative, don't be jealous, which is a whole nother thing. I don't understand jealousy. Like I told you guys, I'm in therapy, so I talk to my therapist, and that's an emotion that I didn't realize was as prevalent as it is, like love and hate. I didn't understand jealousy was as prevalent as those other emotions, like, because I've never been jealous of anybody. I know some of you guys are probably like, yeah, but I'd never felt that emotion. I'd never seen something somebody has or seen a person and what their abilities are or whatever and got jealous. If I saw somebody with something nice or something I'd like to have, I just talk to them and, hey, how did you do that? How did you get that? Because now it's real. I see that it's attainable. And so I'm like, oh, that's attainable. Okay, cool. Tell me how you did it. Like, I never understood the mentality of being jealous or envy. Like, envy is something else. It's like you want to be somebody else. Like, I never wanted to be anybody else but me. You know, I haven't always been happy with myself, and I've gone through a lot of pain, a lot of trials and tribulations, but it made me who I am now, and I like me, you know. And the only person I really felt in my life that loved me unconditionally, rooted for me, cheered for me, was on my side, was my mom. She's dead. And everybody else in my life, friends, family, whatever, there's always a little tinge of envy or jealousy or animosity or something. And I'm very perceptive. I pick it up. I see it. You know, I feel it. I can read emotions, and, you know, I feel aura and I feel energy, and I pick it up. And then sometimes it's said. Some certain things are just obvious, you know. I don't understand how people don't see how transparent they are. how easily people can see through them and see through the bullshit and read them, especially clumsy people. Like nothing they do, they think they're smooth, but they're so transparent. And my mother used to call him pitiful. You know, he's so pitiful all the time, and it was just, I used to laugh. But I believe everybody has greatness in them, and I believe in people. I believe in people's dreams. I believe when people tell me they want to be something, or they want to do something, or they want to be somebody or whatever, I cheer for them. I encourage them. I ask if I can help, because I like that. That encourages me. It makes me feel good to see people going for it, following their dreams, persevering, fighting through, overcoming, because life is hard enough, and for you to have a dream and you to have aspirations and desires and stuff, I think is amazing. In this cynical world, it's hard to think outside the box and to be willing to be different, be willing to be ridiculed and talked about. And, those are the things that you have to be willing to endure in order to reach greatness, in order to be bigger, be successful, be different, and attain big things. I'm a rooter. I go to concerts. I go to shows. My big brother was a guitarist in a band, and he's a lead singer and stuff. And I used to love to go to his shows. I used to love to go see him perform and stuff like that, because it made me proud. Not just that it was my brother, but it was somebody that I knew that was going for it, that was standing there in front of the world saying, "Here I am," and it gave me the encouragement to keep doing what I'm doing, And so I just put out 2 albums. I'm still in the studio recording new stuff, working with different people. I got a song idea. I was just called, I just texted Andre Simone, was talking to him about it. And because again, I'm inclusive. I want to work with people, but I want to work with ambitious people, hungry people, happy people, positive people, optimistic people, people with something to look forward to, people that create, their own luck. They create their own situations and circumstances. If you aren't happy, move. If you aren't happy, leave. If you aren't happy, make a change. If you want better, then make it. Do it. Everybody else be damned. Because when you're dead, all that's gonna matter is what you did. And when you're laying there hopefully on your deathbed, hopefully you don't drop dead, but when you're laying there dying, hopefully you have memories, not regrets. You can say, "I remember when, and I did this, and I went for it," and encourage other people, other family members, other, your offspring, or, your cousins, or whoever, your friends, associates. You inspire them. You show them that, hey, it's real. It can happen. You can do it, because so many people will tell you what you can't do. So many people, because of their limitations, they'll try to limit you. They try to diminish you. They try to make you feel a certain way about feeling a certain way about yourself. They try to make you feel guilty, or make you feel like you're cocky or arrogant or braggadocious or whatever, because it makes them feel small. It makes them feel, because people compare. That's where jealousy comes from. People compare themselves to you instead of just focusing on them. I'm like, if you were focused on you instead of watching me, you'd be doing more. You'd be happier. You'd be more successful, But, the thing is that we go through this life once, and, you got 24 hours in a day. You got the same 24 hours in a day that Michael Jackson had, and none of y'all are Michael Jackson. It's like you have the same amount of time as anybody else to do the things that they did, and you're wasting your time. You're wasting your life. Go for it. Go back to school if you need to. Take an apprenticeship, take a class, go to a seminar. I talk to successful people. I talk to people that have been where I want to go, or people that are on the same route, you know, to hear wisdom and to get more knowledge and to understand, you know, maybe sidestep some of the landmines and, you know, fast track where I want to get to. So many people are they have so many blocks, you know, they have so much, ego gets in the way, pride gets in the way, um, so many different things, so many excuses people have for not succeeding. You know, when you win, you don't have to say anything. You won. You know, you don't need excuses. You don't need to justify it. You don't need to give a reason. You won. You know, you don't need excuses. You don't need to justify it. You don't need to give a reason why. You know, when you win, you won, and that's it. You don't need to justify it. You don't need to give a reason why. You know, when you win, you won, and that's it. You know, and I keep winning because I'm a winner, and I believe I'm a winner, and I prove that I'm a winner, and it's just for me. You know, and I'm okay doing it by myself. I'm okay going for things with no support, with nobody cheering me on. Nobody wakes me up in the morning. Nobody tells me to record. Nobody tells me to make new music. Nobody tells me to go work out. I do it for myself. I do it to myself. I push myself. You know, I'm my own motivator. You know, I have goals and dreams still that I want to accomplish. Even though I've accomplished so much, I still have more dreams, more things that I want to accomplish, bigger goals, bigger aspirations. You know, and you have a goal in your mind, something you want to do, and you want to talk about it with somebody. Yeah, we, you know, I'll support you. I'll encourage you because I know what it's like to not have any encouragement, to not have any support, to be surrounded by people with small minds and low self-esteem and jealousy and, you know, envy and hate and all of the negative, low vibrational BS. You know, it's like it's hard to find people that are happy and optimistic and will support you without the jealousy, not the fake shit, not the, you know, the, oh yeah, you know, I'll be glad, yeah, shit, fuck yeah, you know, hey, go for it. Not that superficial bullshit. I'm talking about people that really want you to win, people that really are on your side, people that hope that you really win, because most people, they're cool if you're successful, just not more successful than they are. You know what I mean? Which is crazy to me, which is like, I don't pocket watch. I don't compete and compare with other people. I'm focused on me. I'm focused on what I want to do and my goals and my dreams, way more than to be looking at somebody else, looking at what somebody else has or what they've done. That's their life. That's their circumstances. My circumstances, my situations, the things that I've been through is different. You know, so I can't compare your life to mine or my life to yours. You know, if there's somebody that has done something that I want to do or has reached a goal or reached a status, a level that I would like to attain, if I can talk to them, I just talk to them. Hey, how did you do that? Can you help me? Can you teach me? Can you tell me? Can you show me how to sidestep some landmines and some problems and issues that I may have? You know, and that's why I pay to go to seminars. I pay for books. I buy books. I talk to people. I talk to billionaires and, you know, people that own islands and CEOs and, you know, leaders of industry and stuff, because I know it takes a certain mindset that the average person doesn't have. It's the reason they say average. It's the reason most people are average, because average is average. Yeah, it's the middle. I don't want to be average. I'm not average, and I talk to people that are not average, you know, because I don't know everything, and there's more I want to know. There's more I can learn. Knowledge is infinite, so I can always learn more. You know, there's always something else to learn, you know, and you talk to successful people to be successful. They've done it, you know, and what I found is that most successful people, if they see that you have the ambition and the brains and the brightness and the wherewithal they'll help you. They'll talk to you. They'll be more than willing to give you whatever help they can with whatever time they can spare, you know? And each one teach one, you know? If you can help, help, you know? But anyway, that's all I wanted to say on this crazy Monday in America, in California, San Diego. All right, so it's Kna-Lo Venge. Love you guys. Go to Kna-Lo Venge. The new album's out, the soundtrack. And I'll talk to you soon. All right, you guys take care. Peace.